Boy, oh boy, it is Monday, and do we have a bunch for you today. On the Mod Hub, 41 mods released today. All platforms got 31 new ones of those, so big shouty outy to you guys, as well as 2 updates, and PC and Mac players got 8 new. We're going to go over all the customization and features of each mod, so sit back and relax. Check those timestamps to see what you want to see first. Otherwise, let's jump right in. Starting off today, we got something super fun. A Lizard Superior End-Dump Trailer Pack from Coral Farms. This pack includes 6 different things. We've got 5 trailers, one of which looks pretty new, the 20-footer up at the front. And of course, we also have the semi-dolly. Now, this is not the first, not the second, but the 3rd game that this is returning from. We first had it in Farming Simulator 19, then they came to 22, a little bit of a different setup, and now we got them in 25. All of the trailers are going to have the same customization options, so what you want to do is you want to find the one that fits you best. So you're going to be going off between a 20, 28, 34, 40, and 48-foot versions. You might be able to see down here at the bottom as well, they all have unrealistic 1 million liter capacities. So if you want an unrealistic one, you don't have to pick the one that's got like the biggest one, for example. They're all 1 million liters. I love that they did that. As for the regular specifications as far as how much they'll hold, the 20-foot goes between 38,000 and 43,500 liters. You've also got on the 28-footer 51,000 to 58,000 liters. The 34-footer, this one's got between 62,000 and 70,000 liters. On the 40-foot, you've got 73,000 liters up to 82,000 liters. Nice. And finally, you've got between 87,000 and 98,000 liters. Realistic and then unrealistic, of course, is 1 million. For all of our customization options today, we're going to go over them on the big boy. So then we start with the cover configurations. This is where you're going to find all of your capacities as well. So as far as your covers go, you start with a nothing, and then you get the roll up tarp. I love that one. Bulk extension. This is where you get your extension from, and then you can also do a root crop and silage side to that. And then you've got the default unrealistic set. You've also got the roll up tarp unrealistic, the silage look unrealistic, the bolt extensions unrealistic, which is really nice. I like that they gave us those two. Again, you can make it look however you want and still have your realistic or unrealistic. Then we make our way over to wheels. This has got a couple different wheel brands from Lizard as well as Continental. You might be seeing there we've got different sets. So Lizard has the single lift axle, and you can go with a 3-axle with 1 lifting. Then you got a 3-axle with the space there, 3-axle spread, 4-axle with 1 lift, 4-axle with 2 lift, 4-axle with the space, 5 axles with 2 lift, 6 axles with 3 lift, or 4 lift, and then the 7 axles with 4 lift, 7 axles with 5 lift, and finally we have the 8 axles with 4 lift and 5 lift. As far as that goes, you can also do a rear lift or 6 lifts if you want. Goodness gracious, there's so much going on through there. We also have for the Continental sets as well, so you could do those too, even going all the way up and doing some wild crazy stuff. But if you wanted to do the single, well, you can do that too. Goodness gracious, there's so much, so much going on. You have no idea. Now, in the past, I have seen that the more axles you go for and the more that are on the ground, the longer it takes to get started. Regardless of the capacity inside, I mean, you've got 8 axles there. That is a lot of friction on the road. So just be aware. Also, turning may be a lot more fun than you think it would be. But these are one of the most popular trailer mods ever for a reason. Now we jump over to sidewalls, and yes, I am keeping the 8 axles on there. We got a groove set. You can also do the ruffled look, and then we have an external post, which is my favorite setup through there. Also the external post with a mid beam. So again, choose what you like, and you are good. And we also have a front wall setup, so we have the ladder on there by default. You can also do the man door, or you can do the man door with a window, so you can see it filling up as it happens. Running lights, we got some good sets here. So we've got doubles and triples and quadruple sets along towards the bottom, and then you've got the bottom and top with a bunch of lights. In the back to default again. So many lights. Speaking of lights, we got lights for the rear too, so you can come through here and kind of choose how many different lights you want, which ones you want to be what. Do you want them to be reverse lights or not? There's a bunch of choices through there. Reflectors, we do have those as well. I prefer without, but you can use yes if you like. Then we got some mud flaps, so we could change these up. However, you may notice that there's nothing really changing up when I go between a couple of them. That is because I have so many setups going on right here. But if I swap out to, let's say, this, or maybe even a triple set, now when I go back over here, we can actually change them up individually, which is very nice to see. You've also got a setup for the middle mud flaps. If you wanted to change those, you can easily do that. Then we get into the back. Now, if you want to run multiple of these together, because these are road train compatible, well then definitely add a hitch to the back. It doesn't come as default, but you're gonna need that. And then you've got tipping options. This is pretty cool. So you've got the standard tipping, then you've got the grain door, then you have the fast tipping, which will unload quicker, especially if you've got the unrealistic set, and then you've got the fast tipping grain door setup. I love that they gave us those options. And then we have a bunch of colors down here as well. You got the box frame color, box wall color, frame color, tarp extension color, landing legs frame color, landing legs color, mud flap, mount color. We've got the axles and rims. Bunch of options. Oh yeah, and obviously you're not going to have 8 axles like here on the 28 footer, so each one's going to have a different axle number, but I like the 8. I think it's stupid and crazy, but I love it. Oh, and of course we've got this dolly up at the front, the smaller version here, the 20 footer. This is also available in a single or double dolly version. Now, naturally, the dolly is not going to have the same customization options as the trailers, because why would it? We still get a Continental or Lizard setup, and we can still do a dual or single axle set as well. You've also got the mud flap design, so you're going to see the same thing through there, although this says Lizard there. We also have a rear light set if you want to add those. Wheel covers can be added too, so that is great to see. And then we have the drawbar, which is going to be either your A-frame or the straight bar. And of course, a couple customizations for colors to match everything else. So let's check this bad boy out here in the open air. So we are able to raise and lower up these axles here. If I can get a good look at it, there you go. So if you have any axles that are raised by default, you can lower them manually. It doesn't look like they lower automatically, but you know what? I'm kind of cool with that, I'll be honest with you. We also have a couple different sets here, so we can open and close our covers, and we are able to control both of those. So kind of are set up that way. One thing I will say is whenever the covers are folding, the trailers like to go for a little jump. I don't know why, but they just do, man. They just do. I'm sure there'll be something. It's like it's like a dog when you scratch at his side. He starts raising his leg up. Goodness gracious. All right, so we got 2 million liters right here. I've gone for a tipper version, and then we've got a grain door version. Now, the grain door really just adds said grain door setup, but there is something else that I think you need to know about. Up here at the top, you've got your back, and then you've got your grain door, but we also have the back 50%. And I'm really interested to see exactly what that back 50% does. So let's pull these forward, and we're gonna try and make them tip at the same time. So we've got back 50% on the very rear one, and then the front one is a regular tip, although it's not really crank. I mean, it's cranking, but there it goes. I will say this as well. Hey, 1 million liters, not too shabby for these trailers. It's still going to take you a little bit of time, but it should. I think they've got this timed perfectly. So if you go with 50%, it's just not going to tip it up as high. Pretty cool. Still a bit of a little thing right there with the trailer raised up as it's tipping. I'm not quite sure it's supposed to do that, but still pretty funny. Oh yeah, and the doors, they swing. Whenever you move around, those doors will swing. Alrighty, so here's another good news thing. It doesn't seem that tipping 50% changes the tipping speed. This is a good thing. So there you go. There's a lot of customization and a lot of specs for these. However, the use case is pretty straightforward. The superior end-up trailer pack is back, and I'm so happy to see it. Next on our list today, we have the Lizard the Beast 1000 4x4 and 6x6. There are 2 mods in this pack. Of course, we have that 4-wheel drive and the 6-wheel drive version. They are pretty cheap, and if they look familiar, it's because we have seen these before in previous games, at least in FS22. So let's jump right in. Customization options are going to be the same for both. So keep that in mind. We do have the BE 6x6. We also have the automatic version of that. So it's just manual or automatic. Save for both. Then we have wheel brands and wheel setup. So wheel brands are going to be completely separate from the rim itself. The rim does not change, so you can flip through these and find one that fits your likeness best. Likeness. There you go. Then you could go through and find the rim that you think looks cool. Once you've got that, now we get to start deciding some of the other options, like headlights, for example. At least on the cabin, you've either got some round lights, you can go with a LED bar, or nothing at all. Similar setup here on the bumper in the front. You've either got the lights or you can go with a bar there. Then we have the grills, which is going to be on the top and on the front. So you can either go with both of those, or you just go with the top, just with the front. Again, or neither. Then we have some camo, so we go with the carbon fiber, and then we have multiple different camouflage stuff to choose from. I think these are pretty cool, especially fitting for something like this. After that, we've got the option of a star on the side, which is kind of nice. Glass can be added to the very front, however, that is the only place that it is added. Mirrors can be added on the sides, rotating beacon on the top, which is not changeable, heads up through there. Attachments of either a trailer hitch or a 3-point with a trailer hitch on the back. Dump bed, you've got the standard set here, only the tailgate, and you've got a platform. Now, it is important to note as well that this is not a tipper style bed. I mean, it is, but it doesn't hold anything, so heads up there. And then we have a bunch of color options: main design, seats, seat design itself, and rims. Now, this thing is just awesome. We do have two control groups, so we've got one for the mirrors and internal camera, and then we also have the suspension and dump bed. Suspension dump bed's pretty sweet. Of course, we have the straps there. We can open and close, and we can do like that. Boom, 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 boom. I have full control over this as well, by the way. So, doesn't matter what happens to it, I'm good. Then we can open up both of the doors, so that can be done as well. Very cool, very cool, very cool. And lastly, one of my favorites, you can either raise and lower it, and you can even give it a little bit of a boosty boost right there on the back, so it leans forward. You know, just options. Options are great. That's so cool. As far as the second control group, if I had the mirrors, those would be adjusting, but I can also adjust me. I can move me up and downs, forwards and backwards. However, that does not change in the view on the outside. So you don't see the guy moving around and stuff, but it just makes it good for you. As for getting up and going, it does just fine. You're not going to have any problems whatsoever. The one interesting thing this does do, we had a couple things in FS22 that were like this. When it turns, it digs in the wrong way. So the body rolls the opposite way. It's not right, but it also makes it really easy whenever you want to turn, baby. Yeah. Oof. I have my steering speed all the way up, and that's as fast as it'll go. Whew, let's hope the Giants doesn't have the same steering in FS28 that they do in 25. Yeah. Next on our list today, we have the Lexion 560-590. We have a proper yellow Lexion, a yellow CLAAS, kind of like the way it used to be here in the U.S. Loving that. That is super cool. We do have multiple different setups in here. So we have engines, options, ranging from something to something, I'm sure, because I don't know what happened, but the horsepower ratings are gone. Okay, well, that stinks. Apparently, they're between 301 and 465, so there's that. There's also capacities between 10,500 and 12,000 liters, so there's that too. We also have some different wheel options to choose from, which is really nice to see. We've even got a medium tire setup, which is quite rare with stuff like this. What I'm happy to see, though, are twin wheels. So we do have the twin wheels in the Michelin setup there. Doesn't look like we've got them in the Midas. Taking a look, nothing BKT, and of course the TerraTrack version. We do have Trelleborg twin wheels as well, though, so that's pretty sweet. You got your chaff blower on there, so that could be added toward the back. You've got the stickers of old and new, and you can even add a old or new GPS to the front. But of course, with it being Farming Simulator 25, everything's got GPS. Now, hold your horses, though, because that ain't everything. We've got 4 headers to choose from between 6 meters, 6.6, 7.5, and 9 meters, and we have 2 header trailers. However, I think somebody forgot to give it yellow wheels. Yeah, Challenger should work okay, but it would be cool to see the proper yellow wheel color also added to those. I think it was just a bit of an oversight. On this one, there are no animations, so what you see is what you get. But, man, you get such a cool looking combine. I love this thing. Man, it's gonna be hard to choose what to put in a thumbnail. There's some pretty cool mods today. And our next one is this guy. You've got the Fendt 1000 Vario series. This comes in a pack of 3. We have the S4, the Gen 2, and the Gen 3. Customization options are going to be identical for these, minus a few things. If you go for the S4, you're gonna have something called model year. Down here, you can change between 2020 or 2015, sorry, and 2018. Goodness gracious, that's 10-year-old. You looks brand new. And then if you go over to the Gen 3, you're going to see the 12-inch roof terminal. So that is going to be only available on this one, meaning that the Gen 2 has all the options that the rest of them do. So that's the one we're going to show off the customization today. So we have multiple different options for engines, including 40, 50, and 60 kilometers per hour. That's going to be, what is that, 24, 32, and 39 mile per hour, something like that, or 37? Yeah, it doesn't say, unfortunately, but we do have those even on the 1050, so that's good. At least you've got 517 horsepower with a quick boy. Wheel options bring you Trelleborg, you've got a Michelin set, BKT, and that is it. So nothing too wild and crazy through there. I always like to see, do they have twin wheels? They do, and that's awesome. Wheel weights can be added as well. These are going to be added separately. We can add a flange at the back, and then we start chunking on that weight. I like the way that's done, and I hope we do that with more mods in the future. Warning signs can be taken away, which is very nice if you're like me, based in the North American region. I'm based in the United States in North Carolina. I would pull that off, even though it's a European tractor anyway. I would still pull those off because it makes it look a little bit better and in place here. Then you got your line settings. So you go with the Power Plus. You can also go with the Profile, the Profile Plus, and the, well, we're already at Power Plus. So these are going to be adding options no matter what. One interesting thing is in this line setting here, this is always going to cost you some kind of cash. It would be nice because all of these are required. If maybe the Power Plus was just 0 and the cost was added on to the total, that's what other mods do. This is highly unusual. Then you've got your design setup. So you got your chrome exhaust, and then you can do the design line. If you guys wanted to do a black beauty, that's how you would do that. Back and turning. One popular thing is to go with LED there, but you can keep it standard if you would like. Speed decal. This one's around towards the back as well. Right on the edge there. There it is. Beacon lights along towards the top. You got a left, a right, and both. Oh yeah. And then color options. So you got the main, the roof, and the rim color. It does have the Fendt black on there too, so if you wanted to swap that over, it is the first option. As far as animations go, there are quite a few on here. So if we jump in and we start off, we've got the front kneeling. So we could do that if you wanted to. Then we also have the door and the back glass. There you go. And we've got the top, so you can let the air out if you want to there. It does continue to stay interior sound if you're on the interior and you open anything up, but that's pretty standard with mods these days. Give you this much, it gets up and goes, and there's a really nice low rumble that you get in a normal tractor that you don't get in a lot of the base game stuff. This gives it to you. Oh yeah. Next, we have the Valtra Valmet Series 8X50. This looks to be based off of the Valtra Valmet 8750 that we've gotten from Giant Software. If we pop in and take a look, only the one thing in here, 84 grand to start off with, and we have multiple different speeds with this as well, including those engine options. We've got power that is ranging pretty high from 110 horsepower all the way up to 200, which is fantastic. If we poke in and just kind of see real quick, the 8750 that we've gotten from Giants, this is only available with a 190 horsepower engine and nothing else. This gives you plenty of things to choose from. Great news there. Then you've got a Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, Wittgenstein, Midas, BKT, and Nokian setups. Yes, you've got twin wheels. I know, I always like to see. Plus, we've got the narrow twin wheels on here too. Awesome. Love seeing all that. Mudguards, this is an interesting one. I don't know if I've ever seen this before. You can remove one side. It looks off kilter. You can do it on both sides or just remove them completely. I've never seen that before. I think that's kind of neat. wanted to share it with you. We also have lifting arms, which can be added or removed in the front. I believe the 3-point still works. We will check that out. Front loaders from Quickie and Hauer, and then we've got main and rim colors. Now, if we jump into the main, here are all of your colors there. So we do have the stuff from Valtra. There are no options for running any type of animations or anything like that, so what you see is what you get. Really the customization options that get you there. Let's bring it up. Do we got it? No, we do not. So if you remove the arms, you don't get the 3-point anymore. Well, that is very interesting. But as soon as we add those lifting arms back, boom, everybody works great. And if you're curious, this is the mod that I'm using right here. The next pack is a doozy. This one is the Mower and Wrapper with Hitch. This is a pack of 3 little bad boys. Catch Krone GX 450 with PTO. Not the first one that we've gotten like that. Actually, I think it's like second or third, but hey, we've got it nonetheless. We also have this guy, the K-branded SB1290 ID. And this actually supports the AI worker. So what you're able to do is you're able to take this mower and set it up with this baler, and then the worker will go do their thing. So recommend to not do the headlands, but it will work perfectly fine. And then you've got this guy, which is a bell wrapper, but it has a hitch on the side here as well. It is not meant to be used with the baler or the mower. It is a completely separate entity. But what you could do is you could hook up and maybe hook up like some type of bell loader or auto loader to that, and then you could pick up the bells as you wrap them. Pretty darn cool, ain't it? Yeah, we do have a little bit of customization. You've got an engine option which goes up to 603 horsepower, down from 449, and we do have a couple different wheel options as well for brandings, which is very nice. We even have some chunky boys on here as well, even front duals. So yes, there are dual tires on here. You got a couple options for beacons if you want them, and then we can also change up the colors. This is pretty cool as well. Agrabest, that is not quite. Let's go with a, lavender. Oh, wow. That definitely looks like lavender. There's that. Add red to color 2, and just because people don't think I can make colors match, there you go. Don't think I can make colors match. That's a good looking mower right there. It's not, and I know that. I'm so sorry. You've also got this guy. Bell wrapper. It does have different options for stuff, and you've got color. There you go. You got your main and your rim color. And lastly, you've got the baler. This one, of course, we also have your different wheel options, working light on there, beacon light options, square bell twine. You've got the beacon light setup, which is very nice to see the differences through there. And then we've got colors. So if you're looking for colors, if you look for different setups, you are good to go. This is not a bad kit to check out. Here is our PTO. It's mounted right there. And then you've also got your hitch down here. This will work with pin hitch or ball hitch. So there you go. There's the baler that comes with it. And here's our bell wrapper, which I was able to kick out that little guy right there. Otherwise, there's really not a lot to it. You guys know how to use all of these already. Now we get into the tools. The first one is the CLAAS CORTO 290 FN from Agro Design Austria. They do some mods that are almost second to none. Incredible job on everything they do. This one is no different. On here we have a couple different design options. That's basically going to be the logo moving around like that. Warning signs added, and white or gray. This is a front mower, 60 horsepower, 2.9 meter work width at 12 miles an hour. Keeping it with grass care, also from Agro Design Austria, we've got the Pöttinger EUROTOP 340N. It's a bad boy right here with 3.4 meter work width and 9 miles an hour, 20 horsepower required, so pretty standard through there. We have a single axle set. You can also do a single with the round at the front, and even a tandem, and then a tandem with the one at the front. So a lot of options through there. You've got warning sign options as well, which is cool, including lighting, protective sleeve, which could be added to there. You've also got the pipe protection cap. There you go. Don't need it, but kind of neat that they gave you that as an option. And then you've got your design color, which we can actually change up ourselves. Not usually that we could do that, so it's cool to see that now. Next is a tedder, also more grassland care. This one is from Weekend Farmers, though, so there is that. We actually talked about Weekend Farmers today on Farm Sim News for the first time. Here we could do a Vicon or a DeutzFahr setup. Either way, you've got a 60 horsepower, 6.1 meter work width, and 9 miles an hour. I love seeing DeutzFahr stuff on the Mod Hub. That is so cool. Oh, yeah. And if you're doing grassland work, you may need a trailer that matches. Now, Fortunately, this is a bulk trailer. This one is the Krone GX 440, so it's a little smaller than some of the ones that we've seen. 44,000 liter capacity. It is bulk, again, so it does wheat, barley, oats, but it also does forage and things like that, and you've got your reels in the back. We do have different wheel options to choose from, and we can even make those chunky boy if you want to. God, those Vredestein chunks look good. I'm going to leave those on there. And then they have my favorite cover as well. Tell you what, Hans is the creator of this mod, and I think Hans knows some of the stuff that I really like, but boy, oh boy, they just added my favorite things to this trailer, didn't they? God, good look, man, good look. Here's another bulk trailer. This is the Jeantil BR 2432. It's from Universe Simu Money. What up, Bruno? On here, you got a configuration of 31,000. You can also bump up to the grain bodywork. That gives you 37,000, or the silage bodywork. That gives you 49,000. Big stuff there. Otherwise, that is it. You're stuck with the wheels, stuck with the tires, you're stuck with everything other than the license plate. Although, I will say, I do love where the beacon is. It's kind of hiding back there. Pretty cool. Next is something very, very cool. This is the Bomech Slurry Distributor pack with real section control. And by that, well, you unfold it and fold it back up. So it can be used like this. How cool is that? So this version of the smaller guy, this is 21 meters opened up fully, but when folded, it's 15 meters, and you can use it as both. And then we've got the big boy right here for $104,000. This one is 30 meters by default, but you can fold it and go for 24 meters. So let's say you're rocking along, doing your 21 meter thing, and you say, man, I really don't need 21 meters. Well, all you gotta do simply is raise up, and then up at the top left-hand corner. Oh, that is folding. No, I don't want you to fold. Unfold, baby. There you go. That's what we want right there. So up here at the top left-hand corner, you can see we've got a toggle working mode. And when I click that button and we pop out, we can see that the wings are folding in. And now we can do all of our normal stuff with it. So we can drop it down, turn it on, yada, yada, yada. And we're good to go. So that is very cool. It will work with a worker as well. However, it is important to come in here and hit reset after you do that. So you can see right now, 15 meters. If I come in and I toggle my working mode and click it out, there we go. And 'tis unfolded, perfect. We go back into the working mode, and it still says 15 meters. Maybe this is for me as well, to click reset. There we go, click reset, and it defaults to 21 meters. So it works. Also, if you're curious, I'm using the Fendt that came out today and the base game Samson PG2 Genesis tanker. All right, so next we have a couple we can kind of zoom through because we do have a lot of mods today. This is a plow or a plow, the Kverneland BE 6 with the letter F in parentheses. On this one, we got 120 horsepower, 3 meters at 7 miles an hour. We can change up the wheel, but it is actually the rim which is changing up between those two, and that's it. Moving on, we got a subsoiler, which is also a fertilizer spreader. This is kind of cool. I like this. So this is the Dondi 800 series, and in here we've got a couple different models. So we've got the 805, which is going to be a 2.5 meter working width. Then you've got the 807, which is a 3 meter, and the big one, the 809, which is 4 meters. Now that is a big, well, I say a big subsoiler. It's really not, but if you're able to do multiple things at the same time, might save you a little bit of time. You also have the hybrid, which adds a little roly boy on the back there for you, and we can even throw some little flaps up. Now, we've got that, so I do want to get me one of those just so I can check it out. Then, we got this guy, the fertilizer tank. This will hold either 1,000 or 1,650 liters of solid fertilizer, which is very, very cool. And you are, up at the top, going to pick which one you go for by whichever model you've got. So you got the 805, go with that. You got the 809, go with that. It is all good. Love that. When you're ready to hook up, back over it and then hit click, and it's going to bring it up. I am going to use the Power Tools mod to fill this up because that's what I use every time, to be fair. So there you go. Not too shabby, huh? Not too shabby at all. It does also look like we're going to be able to create fields with this. I'm pretty sure I deleted my Cultivator Creates Fields mod. I should have deleted it anyway, so let's hope through there. It also looks like this right here is just a plow. Really interested to check that out. Sure enough, look at this. 'Tis a plow. Now, it does say, to be fair, in the mod hub that it is a plow, so there is that. However, Everything else in the mod description refers to this as a subsoiler. So as far as the game goes, this is not a subsoiler in any way, shape, or form. That's a plow, and this is a plow with a cultivator attached to it, and that's a fertilizer spreader, and that's a tractor, and there's a bee around here somewhere. Some of you may get that reference. It's a bee! Nonetheless, super handy, and it looks like we're able to do 3 things at once with it. Very cool. Next is a neat one. This is the Autoload Bale Pack, Balefork pack. This pack is basically like Autoload trailers, but they're bell spikes, which is super duper cool. It's available in a bunch of different things. So you've got the Banksy, the Albud, actually quite a few Albuds. These are all running with the square and round. However, it's important to note that the AL5155FA, I did said those out of order. This will only do square bales, so that's very important to note. And to note the different sizes. For example, the AL Balefork right here from Albut, this will do baby bales. However, if we pop around, this one will not do baby bales. So that's important to note as well. But like I said, it just kind of works like a normal Autoload bale trailer, but it's just a couple bales. That's it. Next up, we got a roll holder. This is the Göweil GFM. This is the foil magazine, which they call it, especially suitable for transporting 16 rolls of foil or 14 rolls of foil and 2 rolls of net or wrapping foil. Very cool. You can throw a lighting kit on there to make it road legal or keep it illegal if you want. You've also got a Euro and 3-point attachment or just the 3-point attachment on there. I don't really know what's up with the Euro bit. I'm guessing that's front loader or something similar to that. And then we can actually load this bad boy up with stuff too if you want it, but you don't have to. You can easily just choose what you want. This is super handy if you're doing a lot of grass work and you're doing a lot of wrapping. This may be just the mod that you've been looking for. Speaking of grass work, we got some more bale loaders. So this one's going to be the Fliegl Bale Tools Pack. This is also from Agro Design Austria, who have a big mod day. All of these work with the front loader setups, and then we've got a couple different sets here as well, so we can customize these if you would like. We also have that plastic set. If you like me, you want to go with that, good to go. You've also got round bale grabber there and another round bale grabber. These are recommended for 125 and 150 round bales, but not 180s. Ada Monty bringing up the rear with the Lizard Bale Spear. This one weighs 130 kgs, well, 129, but hey, who's counting? And we've got color options. It also works with a skid steer. So heads up through there. Yeah, works with a skid steer. So any Massey Ferguson we got, or maybe that John Deere? Yeah, definitely go with that. Keeping it going, this was a big mod day for a Monday today. Agro Design Austria again on this one. Actually, they have quite a few of the next few ones. The Steyr Weight Pack. This is available with a 508, 1012, and 1300 kgs. You are going to have main color, and you're going to have design color. The interesting thing is, it's probably not what you would expect. These are the colors of the little lights on there. So if you go with black, they're going to be exactly the same, and it's going to blend in. But you go something like this. Aha, very cool. Come up with your own design colors. They also did this one, the Meyer Weight Pack. Agro Design Austria. Yeah. We've got different setups in there. I love saying their mod name. It's great. In here we have 3 weights. So you've got the smaller guy. You've got this guy right here where you can add a little bit of extra weight. And then we've got, come on, let me click it. There we go. We got this guy, which kind of hooks up through the bottom-ish and is kind of like hanging on for dear life, more or less. As per the screenshots ADA shared, that last one I think is going to work best when used on the rear. How's about some chainsaws? Man, oh man, we got the STIHL MS 261 CM pack. So through here, we've got a couple different setups. I gotta be honest with you, I don't know what the difference is. We've got one who's regular, the Timber Sports Edition, then we have the Carbon Timber Sports, and then the Special Timber Sports. So, hey, but if you were looking for a specific one, here you go. What are you doing in here? I'm trying to do a mod preview. Get your head out of there. Alrighty, next up, we've got a whole bunch going on with some placeables. The first one is the Old Brick Cow Barns, and there are quite a bit to these. This is where I was just showing. Oh, now they got the rear end through it. Why you gotta be like that, huh? Why you gotta be like that? I decided to throw the animals in here. I don't know why, but I'm really glad that I did. I'll tell you that much. So, as far as these, number 1, this is gonna be found, of course, in your animal pens. Boom, 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 boom. Here we go. So you've got one right here that holds 10 cows. And then we've got one in the middle, holds 16, and all the way over here on the right, we hold 28. We've also got what looks to be 8 different manure bunkers that come with this as well. We're just going to give you a rough kind of outline here. They don't hold a lot. 7,500 liters of food, 7,500 liters of milk, 5,000 liters of straw, and 0 slurry, it says, but pretty sure there was a slurry thing out here somewhere. We'll have to look around for it. Food, of course, everything's going to go in here. They're just waiting for food. God, I don't know why I don't use animals in the animal videos anymore, because all they do is just sit and scream. All right, well, that was that one. Here is a second one. Of course, food going there. We can open up here. And doesn't look like anybody's made their way inside for this one. This one holds a little bit more, but not really that much more. Everything does open up, so these are wonderful for role play or anything like that. Tons of detail, and pretty much every door opens up, which is great. This one also has a secret. Up top, gotta take the lock off first. But we can actually throw the food down, which is very, very cool. I know y'all like those, so there you go. Even got one of these up here. It's a lot to these, ain't it? Love it. All right, and then the last one's going to be right over here. This one holds a little bit more food than the rest, and it also is holding currently 4.4 million liters of just manure because I've got all of those connected to it. Oh, so sorry. That does not open. Swing around up towards the top. There you go. This one's going to be basically the same. Let's see here. Where is? There it is. We can open that up and boop, drop the food down just like me. And there's a cow in here. Very, very happy. All right, go do your thing, home slice. Swinging around towards the back, we can see the backs of all of these. And we do have the doors. So that's pretty cool too. There you go. All right. And now, lastly, the 8 different manure bunkers over here. We've got quite a few different sets. There you go. Big U shape, left-handed, right-handed, larger U. So much to it. So many. Next, we got the Gravel Factory from Weasel Mining. This uses the additional fill types mod, so it does have a required mod. However, if you're on console, this is about the only way to get some extra stuff like that. Take all of your crop stuff, dump them in here, and it'll turn it into stuff which can then be pulled out of here. The only thing is it doesn't have a marker back here, but I did take a look. Boom, there you go. That's where it's going to be. So just pull up in the middle, you should be A-okay. So let's get rid of that. We also have a sell point for things, but what kind of things can we do? Well, it does do gravel, so that should be good for us. So we've got the crushed stone, sorted gravel, fine gravel, and sand. Those are the things that you can make, and that is going to be using construction gravel, crushed stone, gravel, and stone. So those are the ins, and those are your outs. Our next mod today is the Grain Storage Hall. This is a silo, and it holds 660,000 liters. And yes, this is a silo, believe it or not. You get a place right here where you can see some numbers. You've also got inside a little place which looks like you can kind of run the place, but not really. You do have lighting. It's going to be done with the left stick, so make sure you press that. Indoor and outdoor lighting. Dump is going to be here, and then whenever you do that, that is then going to go into these areas over here. But it kind of it doesn't really do it, but we pretend. We pretend. And then we've got some doors here. We can open these up. They don't do anything, but we can at least see in a little bit. And then when you're ready to get your stuff out, right there. And this is the weighing station. So that whole thing's your weight plate. Might be. There's so many barns. The American Barn Pack is here from Omatana. There's so many barns. These should look very familiar to you because these, I believe, are from Farming Simulator 22, the base game of 22. However, everything works with these, which is great. There's also multiple different versions as well. I guess we could just start with the barn. This one is just a barn. It's the only one found in sheds. All of your doors are opening up, which is cool. Very, very cool indeed. And then we've got doors all the way around, which is nice. The original did not have said doors because, well, the back went straight down a cliff. There was storage under it, but not this one. So you've got different stuff. It looks like we've got, I don't know what those lines were there. Maybe there's something. I do not know. But we do have an area here at the top and another area here. So there you go. That is the barn. but there are multiple different versions. That's just the one that's found in sheds. Then if we pop over and we go to silos, there's a bunch in here. So we've got one here. This is the American barn with metal silo. That's the one that I've gone for. You've also got one that's got a smaller concrete silo. That's very cool. Here's one that's got a hayloft. So you've got your hayloft kind of bits and bobs there on the side. There's also one here which will hold pallets. 500 as a matter of fact, pallets and bales. Then we have just the silos themselves. If you wanted those, 10 million liter capacity. So have some fun, man. Have some fun. And there's even one that's a house. Yeah. So the one that's a silo basically just has the silo on the outside. So if you just wanted the silo, you could do that. I don't really think it changes much else, which makes it easy to choose, I guess. This one, you've got that. And then I believe you've got storage up top. And if we swing down, here's the one that is your house. Very cool. I'm going to turn on my help window just so I can kind of see what's going on and where our trigger is. Oh, don't tell me this is our house. Oh, this is our house. Look, it's so pretty. Oh, that's so cool. Tell me it's a bathroom. We got a bathroom in here. There's no window, but there's a bathroom. We've got that. Another picture right there and another picture right there. Oh, man. All right, this is what I'm talking about. This is so cool. Check this out. All kinds of stuff. What are we working on down here? I don't know which map that is off the top of my head. It being old Montana, I wouldn't be surprised if she tried to hide some Easter eggs around here, but hey, who knows? And in the morning when you're ready to go, you've got to... Oh, it won't let me jump. I was going to jump. Well, you can still open it up, nonetheless. All right, enough fanboying over this. Does this one work? Yay, wee! So there you go. There's your American barn pack. Oh, yeah, and you can change the color of these if you want to as well. I just didn't. That's not it from Montana, because we also have the tiny workshop from her today as well. These are going to be little teeny tiny workshop, little bits and bobs. Very cool. Love seeing all the stuff there. Here's another one if you wanted to have something a little bit different. Or if you don't want anything at all, here you go. Here's a place where you can work on your vehicles where there's just nothing. You can put this wherever you want. Heads up with this one, I will say it's a little bit tricky to delete, but seems to be working that time. The time before I didn't want to click on nothing. So figured I'd let you know, just in case you put it down somewhere and you want to move it. Next up, we've got barns without a Z. It's an S. These are Polish barns, and there are 3 versions. There's one version, which is just a barn, and 2 versions, which are silos. The first one over here, this one is the barn for straw and hay, 150,000 liters. And then we've got one for grains for 50,000 liters. So let's kind of poke our heads in here and see what has changed. Well, obviously, a lot has changed in here. We dump things on the floor, and I guess we just click and it refills. That would make the most amount of sense. Ooh, these have collisions. I can bounce on them. Yay, bouncing. Let me out. And then you've got another version here, which is the silos. We open this up, and there you go. Same thing. Grab it, click it, done, good, print it, we're off. There's also some other bits here too. So on all of them, they've got a door there, and if we run across, there's another door here. So these are completely open, and then around towards the back, you can't open the door there from the outside. You have to open it from the inside, but there's another one right here. And each one, the creaks on the doors are just a little bit different, which makes it super unique. Next, we got concrete sheds. These are a little bit more simple than some of the other mods that we've taken a look at. However, there are multiple different versions of them. Unfortunately, they are different models, not customization options. So as you can see, like here we've got one that's got a wall in the middle, but nothing else. Here's another one that matches that with a wall, and then here's the other version, but without a wall in the middle. So a couple different versions, 4 of them in total. However, 2 versions have one with the wall in the middle, and one's a little bit more brown. Couple more to go for you. This one is the storage hall. This will cost you $128,369 nice dollars. And we come through here, you can see nothing around towards that end. You gotta click this button right here. We click that one? Nope, that's shutting it back. Nope. Stay up it. We got another one down here. There we go. We can open up that. And we got plenty of room. It's a store top. I think you could probably store bulk materials on the ground, and you can also store machines and things like that. There is one thing that kind of irks me with this one a little bit. So I came in here and I saw this, and as soon as I placed this down, I was like, what in the world was that? So I used free place to place down everything. And then immediately I was like, all right, well, we got to see what's going on here. So I put it over here, and wherever it deletes the crop, this is in free place. It deleted this whole area around the building. I mean, we've got dirt all the way around. Not dirt per se, because in free build, there is no dirt. But it did all of this. And I think if I were to place this in the wrong spot, I would be very, very upset with the fact that I put this building down. So please be careful where you put this, because no matter what you do, it is going to remove stuff around the front and to the side. Next to last is the small composite hull, actually from the same modder as the previous mod, and well, it does something very similar with the ground. So we got to show you what it does, that way you don't put it down the wrong spot. So looks very good. I love the sounds on there, and I love that it looks different and a little bit more different than anything else that we've seen on Mod Hub. However, it does get irritating when you've got this whole area that is not the shed being deleted around. So that's quite frustrating. Just to kind of show you and give you an idea, here's what happens when I place down something that is, not. Oh, boom, jump back over. So this is how much you get deleted whenever you've got something else. So basically just whatever's underneath the roof, that's what gets done. But this is a whole area out front, and the other one is a whole area out front to the side. So hopefully we see an update to kind of the ground that it replaces in a future update. All right, lastly, let's talk about the Placeable Ramp mod. This is available in 4 versions. I've chosen the 2 visible versions here, as well as the 2 models. So each one of these can be the clean or dirty. I'm just kind of going for these. This has a platform at the top, and it is raised up a good amount. Actually, you know what? Where's a semi-truck? I want to see how this lines up. All right, let's see what the self-proclaimed best backwards driver in Farm Sim could line up here. All right, so I don't know if it's supposed to be off, but it is off a decent amount, at least from the base game Krone trailer, which I think a lot of other things are based on, or at least the height is based on it. So just a heads up, you should wee to be off. But that's only if you're trying to drive into it. If you're loading onto vehicles, this is going to be more than enough, because if you don't have to get onto it with the vehicle, all you gotta do is just kind of push stuff in, or better yet, with this this version here, you can open up the side. Great. And in this case, that is super, super easy to get stuff in and out. Look at that. Love it. Matter of fact, that here at the front, it's pretty level on, ain't it? Yeah, not too shabby. Okay, jumping over to our updates for all platforms, we're going to start with Sunshine Forest. This is from Carl TG. It's going to be version 1002. Fix the rocks, not crushable. And your only other update, the homemade chicken coop from Veteran Modding version 1001. Adjusted animal loading marker in line with loading trigger. All right, now we can move over to some new ones for PC and Mac players. First one is the Pichon SV20R, and, well, awkwardly, there's 2 of them. I'm not quite sure what happened, but yeah, in the files there's 2. It's kind of duplicated. It's very easy to do on accident, so I'm surprised it doesn't happen more. Nonetheless, on here you've got a Slurry spreader. There's 180 horsepower, but you could probably gonna need more because it holds 21,000 liters. 14 meter spread at 9 miles per hour. As we mentioned, we've got the green and the red setup. We also have a Samson set as well, which is very cool. A couple different wheel options to choose from, so you can find the one that you like. We have the color of the auxiliary. I should not try to say words that are not English. And then we've also got the color over here as well of that tank. A lot of different things to choose from through here. We've even got the tank. Everything's a tank, isn't it? Long pipe or short pipe. And then we have the lift configuration, which can also be added, which gives you a whole bunch of other goodies on here too. But at the end of the day, 'tis still a Slurry spreader. Also got some tools for you guys as well, not just crossplay today, but PC and Mac as well. The Ryman tool pack, we've got some of these. So in here we have 4 tools. We've got a bucket, we've got a bell spikes, or the little grabby holds from the sides, kind of the huggy ones. This is the real huggy one. The PBCR-E. That's very cool. And then we've also got the GH, which is just another bucket. These can be changed out from telehandler to wheel loader. We also have the JCB Q lift on here too, which is great news. Otherwise, it doesn't look like we've got any extra customization or anything like that. We do have the extension on here, which gives you an extension down at the very bottom. That'll make things handy. Talk about a day for bale handling, man. We've got more stuff for you. And from Agro Design Austria, ADA as well. This is the RKL BGD-S Premier. We've got some warning signs on here. DJ, what is it? Well, it unfolds to hold 2 round bales. This doesn't, though. This one unfolds to hold square bales. Hey, it is meant to squeeze wrapped square bales. You've got a front loader and telehandler attachment on there, and it says it is set up to do 180 centimeter square bales. I mean, we had to have one more ADA mod. This is the Zoidberg, or as I call it, the Zoidberg. The weight, you've got an 800 as well as a 1.5 ton kg on there. It's a front weight, can be used for rear as well. You've also got a hitch on there too, so pretty cool stuff. Again, the Zoidberg, or as I call it, the Zoidberg, which I know is wrong, but I call it that anyway, because I want to say the word Zoidberg more. I want to say it more often. And over back into the mod hub for the last couple new ones for PC and Mac players. First up, we have Allow Rice on Fields. This is from Yos Modding. What up, dude? Allows planting of rice and long grain rice on regular fields, so no paddy or watering is required. Next, we have No Exotic Crops. This one's from Weasel, and the mod is intended for those who want a more realistic farming experience in the northern parts of Europe, or just simply want all the quote-unquote exotic crops to be removed from the map that you're playing. This includes olives, grapes, cotton, sugarcane, and rice. They've also got an important warning that says, due to the nature of this mod and how the game is designed, it is strongly recommended to start a new save when enabling this mod. Enabling the mod on an existing save game can have unexpected consequences. So, heads up there. And your last mod today, with new one for PC and Mac players, manual tipping from Let Me Cook. It's actually showing as version 1001, but it is new to the mod hub. The mod allows for manual control of trailer and tipper hydraulics. In the game, it is possible to manually unload the trailer's content, but it always lifts fully. With this, it can be problematic if the garage is too low, for example. This mod enables the player to stop lifting at the desired position. Standard input keys are going to be left all to select the lift or lower direction, and then you also have activating hydraulics, which holding this key raises or lowers the trailer, and it is 0? O. I think it's O. And there you go, man. What a mod day. Man, for a Monday as well, pretty good. We already done for him some news, so check that out if you haven't seen it already. I think it released like 4 or 5 hours earlier than this video is going out, but nonetheless, have an awesome day today. Enjoy getting to play with some of these mods. If you got any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we will catch you in the next one. See you? How do you say see and catch in the next one at the same time? I don't know. We'll see you.